Welcome to another episode of Community Storytelling. I'm Lissa Kreisler. I'm so glad to be with you. Linda Lester, Lester Square, thank you for all you do for this show. And Jayco's Art House in Los Gatos for these fabulous canvases behind me. Do they put color on the set or what? They really do. And now a guest who I can't wait to hear her stories because I know she's got many. You may know her, but not by name, but maybe by her voice if you call her every now and then. We have Jackie Rose, Community Outreach Coordinator.
Hi.
And I don't know, what does that title mean? It's a big official title.
I have the pleasure of working with the community on different programs with the town and the police department. I grew up in Los Gatos, so it's a real pleasure for me to be able to do this, job and do something I like for the community.
I bet. How many years have you been doing it?
I've been community outreach coordinator for going on 11 years now. I started out as a town clerk in 1999, and then I moved over to the police department 9 years ago now.
So you grew up in Los Gatos, and what did you say one day? I'm going to work for this town.
No. The town clerk at the time had really pushed for me to work for her, and so I gave in and worked half-time, and then soon enough, I went full-time, and next thing you know, I'm the town clerk, and she retired, and here I am.
Can you walk to work?
I can't walk to work.
Okay, but you live within a short drive?
Well, I have been in Los Gatos for going on 52 years.
Wow.
This is the first year I've moved.
Really? So where do you live now?
So I bought a house out in Coyote and Burnell out there, and I do have a house in town, so I'm still officially in town. My whole family's in town, but yeah, the first time ever I moved out of town, it was a little bit stressful, but I like it.
You have a rather famous family. You might as well give that information out real quickly.
My family is the Kiala family. We own Los Gatos Meats and Smokehouse. We've owned the meat market since 1991.
Do you have to buy your own meat?
No.
No, you
I
just
work for
go
meat
in?
on Saturdays.
You work, so you just take home what you need for the week.
Yeah,
I love it.
I kind of try to get my mom and dad out of the store and my brother on the weekends because they're all there all week. So I'll come in with my sisters and work on Saturday.
You bring your grocery list in with you too?
Yeah.
I like that.
Grocery list, dog food.
Oh my goodness. So community outreach, I mean, you must have stories. Now, how do people even know to call you? Are you in the phone book, or how does somebody know to?
I've handed out a lot of business cards.
Yeah.
But they'll call dispatch.
So they'll call the 911 dispatch?
Yeah, and a lot of calls. It's really funny if somebody doesn't know how to answer something. I get the call usually. But I do a lot of programs, that I work with the community. So I think for a lot of people, they just know to call me, and then they'll get to the right place.
So when somebody in Los Gatos calls 911, they actually get somebody in Los Gatos?
24/7.
Because most cities are not like that.
They're not.
You get Vallejo, or so you're like, who am I talking to?
Yes. Yeah, so our 911, our dispatchers run our 911 system, as well as our 354-8600, which is a non-emergency number. It's answered by the same person. The only difference, it rings differently in our dispatch center, so they know that a 911 call needs to be answered before a 8600 call. So
okay, 8600 is
a non-emergency.
The non-emergency,
354-8600,
the things that you might be laughing at when you hear what they are asking for, or something like that. You never know.
Laugh.
You would never laugh. Yeah, right. Okay. So let me talk about the 911 dispatchers, because they are very special people. Yeah. How many do you have?
Right now we have 8.
So Julie Scapazzi told me one day the most magnificent story about your 911 dispatchers, and I said, I don't think I've ever heard of that before. So you go ahead, because you know what Julie probably told me about your dispatchers. What do they do every day? I'm talking about the senior citizens.
The Operation Care. So Operation
Yes.
Care is one of the programs that we run. What we do is we reach out to seniors, or they reach out to us, or their family will reach out to us when they are living alone. They don't want to leave their home. The family lives somewhere else. So we'll get some information on them, and our dispatchers place a call to them every day at the time, designated time.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's great. It's a really neat program. It's really great to work with the seniors. I take on in most of them and then get the information to our dispatch, and our dispatch will call them every day, and if they don't answer, we send somebody out there.
Unbelievable. So now that we've brought this up,
Yeah.
everybody's going to say, I didn't know about that.
Yes.
So how do people make that happen?
So they can call, there's two ways. They can go online. We have a form online they can fill out, and it'll come directly to me, and I'll set it up with our dispatch center, or they can call me, or they can call our dispatch. So 408-354-8600, and we can get them started.
Unbelievable. I
Yeah.
mean, I can imagine the relationships that some of these dispatchers form with the people they
Absolutely.
call every day.
Yes, they do. They form quite a neat relationship. And I actually had one lady interview me before she would give me her information. And when she found out everything was good, then she'll give it to us to give to the dispatchers. And she actually will sometimes call in before we call her in the morning.
Oh, just
So
to
it's
say I'm
really-
okay.
I'm okay.
I love that.
Yes.
And I bet you there have been some cases where you've saved lives.
There has, yep. There's two right off the bat that I can think of that we didn't get an answer, and normally we'll call the contact, and if we don't get an answer there, or if they don't get an answer, we'll send an officer out, and sure enough that our client had fell. And we went in with the fire department, and she was still alive, and she's happy and healthy and still on our calling system. So
Who came up with this idea? I mean, I just think it's the most fabulous thing I've ever heard.
It's been going on since before even I started working at the town. So many, many years ago. I think it was Chief Todd, to be exact.
Well, it's something else. It really
you.
is. I mean, when Julie was telling me about it, I almost started crying.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine a free service like that
It's free.
from somebody who you will get to know, who will become your friend.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I was going to ask, could they call me every day?
Not yet.
Because I'm older than you think. I mean, I just love that. I just love
It's great.
that.
It's great. Yeah, it's really gives you a warm feeling and makes you feel good that you can form relationships and
Yeah.
possibly have never met them.
And another reason why Los Gatos and Montecito
Yes.
are just so wonderful.
Yes.
Just so wonderful. I mean, how many communities do that? You're still small enough, of course. I mean, it's a city like San Jose and 1 million people. I can imagine how many phone calls there would be every day.
Right.
But this is what Los Gatos is all about, if you ask me.
We do vacation and check program that I heard on the news last week that somewhere, I think San Mateo or Alameda just started a vacation check program, and they were like one of the only ones in the Bay Area, and I'm like,
Hello?
we've been doing it since the 80s.
Yes. Well, I hope you did call. I hope you did call.
I didn't, but
yeah, well, you should have.
It's another great free
Yes.
program that we offer, and our VIPs, which are volunteers in policing, our community service officers, and our patrol all go and check the homes that we have on the list.
What else do you guys offer?
Let's see, we have neighborhood watch programs. That's another free program where we get neighborhoods together and we teach them a little bit about crime tips, crime safety, emergency preparedness, our CERT program. We also do a welcome packet. So I get, every month I get a list of home sales for Los Gatos
Really?
and Montecito, and we will actually go to their door and leave them with a little welcome packet.
What's in that packet? I may move if I can afford it.
It has information on our services that we provide through the town and the police department. It has information on our 911 system. It has, what else did I put in it? Things that are going on in town, and then it comes with a little bag.
That is
and a little
great.
magnet for the
Love
refrigerator.
It. Love it.
Yeah.
How many new homeowners do we have every month? A lot?
Well, right now I probably have about 40 to 70 a month.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That surprises
And
me.
we go to every door. A lot of them aren't home or the house is torn down, but we'll go back in 3 months.
Yes, because there will be something there.
Yes.
So tell me some stories that are just going to warm our hearts, because you must deal with, I mean, you're dealing with people. You're town people.
Yes, yeah, I do. I deal with a lot of people because I do our permit parking program, and I've been doing that since 1999. And so I know a lot of people by their address and not their face.
Well, that's okay.
But it just when people come in or call, and you're able to help them, and they don't leave mad, which is not the case all the time when somebody visits, especially the police department.
Right.
It's just a really great feeling,
great
that you're helping them. You're actually there to help them, and people aren't used to that coming through from a government service.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we take great pride in meeting everybody in the town, or trying to.
Yeah. Is there some person you met along the way that you've just really never forgotten?
A resident-wise?
Yeah, that you've
gosh,
helped.
there's a lot of there's a lot, they'll just come offhand, the lady with the fire, the smoke alarm.
Oh, tell me about that story.
Okay, so a lady called me this morning, and she's 88 years old, and she was determined to climb up the ladder to fix her smoke alarm.
I hope you told her not to do that.
I did. I tried, and I convinced her, and she said she didn't know who else to call, so she called me, and then I told her about the free service that the fire department is doing right now, handing out smoke alarms, and then Red Cross will come and install them, and we're actually getting our cert trained to be installers as well. And so within an hour, the fire department was out there and changed her smoke alarm, which was really working. It just had a bug in it. But it was, we got her all fixed up. It wasn't, beeping anymore. And she called and said thank you and how appreciative she was. And just,
You're everybody's
just like
friend. You're everybody's friend.
I don't know about everybody's. I try.
Pretty close. So you've lived in Los Gatos, would you say 52 years, something like that?
Since 67.
Something like that. And of course now you're nearby.
I am.
What's been the biggest change?
In Los Gatos?
In 50 years,
well,
5 decades.
When I was a kid, you could ride your bike around. There wasn't any. I mean, you had to be home before dark mostly, but we would ride up to the train was still running then, and Foremost was still in town on Elm Street, and we would ride up there and stand at the back where the delivery trucks would come, and the guy would come out and give us ice creams every day.
Love it.
Yeah, and things. We used to cut cots. I mean, that was my first job, is cutting cots, either at our ranch or up on Short Road. They had an apricot orchard up there.
In Los Gatos? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
Prunes too?
Well, yeah, we had prunes too, but it was mostly cutting cots.
Okay.
What you did, yeah.
Okay, you call them cots. I call them apricots.
Yes, yeah.
At first, I was thinking I'm cutting cots, but see, that's how you were raised. You're the farm girl. You're the ranch girl.
Yeah, and then I got a job at Sisters of the Holy Name, which used to be the convent for the nuns up on College. And that was my first cooking job.
Is that where Testarossa is now?
It's right below it. So Testarossa housed all the priests.
Yes.
And below it was well, I think they called it presentation. Well, they call it Sisters of the Holy Name was their actually name.
Yes.
So the nurses, the retired nurses or nuns would be there.
Yeah.
And I used to cook for them and wash the dishes. So everybody would eat and go to bed. Then they would all sneak down and feed the cats because they weren't allowed to. So they would be sneaking around in the dark. That job didn't last long. I was scared to death.
So what is there left to do?
I worked at Hannigan's. I opened Hannigan's with Chris and Johnny.
Did you help close it too?
I did that night. But,
good.
Yeah, I worked there for 10 years, and I went over to Steamers and worked there for 10 years, and then I started at the town. So I've kind of have a well-rounded balance of work and.
A real local gal.
Yeah.
Local gal makes good.
Hey, thank you.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Story after story. I love them. So, so people, now everybody's going to want to call you. So what number are we going to use?
Oh, if you want to call me, you can call me at 408-354-6853. That's my direct line at my office, and I'm happy to help you out.
And especially if somebody wants to get involved with the senior check-in program.
Absolutely, yes. Or you have a mother or father or aunt or uncle, and they're living here in Los Gatos or Montessorino, and you're living somewhere else. We're happy to provide that assistance.
Amazing.
So.
You are a delight. And
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
I mean, you are just full of life and help save lives. I
Oh,
like that.
thank you.
Yes. Wow.
I try.
Wow. Community storytelling at its finest. I think I said wow at least 4 times. And when I say 5, then we're over the top. So I'm trying to watch that, but that was a wow. Yeah, community storytelling, you know somebody I need to be sitting next to, somebody who needs to sit in Jackie's seat for a few minutes. You go online to kcat.org. It's that easy. I think it takes 4 minutes, if that. And thank you. Thank you so much for being with us today at KCAT TV 15.